Good morning or evening, whichever it is where you're at watching this, and welcome to Lesson 2 of the Beginning Mandolin online course. Let's review what we learned in Lesson 1. We talked about the parts of the mandolin, but mainly then the most important thing I think we did in that lesson was to make sure your mandolin's in tune. So we're going to go through the strings right now. You can look at the tuner again like we did before, or you can just listen to my strings and tune your mandolin accordingly. So let's start with the top string, the G string. Do both of them. And move to the D string. A string. Remember the tuner frets on the other side of the neck. Tune them till they sound just like mine, or until you get the green light and the line on yours. And finally the E string, the bottom one. Okay, now we're in tune, and what I would like for you to do from now on, every time you pull up from lesson 3 forward, go ahead and review one of these first two and make sure that your mandolin's in tune before we start, because I will just assume from now on that our mandolins are in tune as we move forward. We also learned 3 chords last time. In the first lesson we learned the G chord. To review, it's the first and second fingers, or the pointer and the middle finger, on the second and third frets of the bottom 2 strings. And then we move them up 1 string till we've got the first and second finger again on the second and third fret of the 2 middle strings. Our third chord was the D chord. That's the same 2 fingers, and it's the second fret of both the uppermost and the lowermost string, or the G and the E string. We're on the second fret with 2 fingers. So everything about this chord says 2. 2 fingers, 2 strings, 2 frets. You should be able to strum those chords now. How'd you like getting the calluses on your fingers? Wasn't that fun? And if it was uncomfortable at all I can tell you is for sure that will go away the more you practice, so continue to practice. Now we're going to, excuse me, we're going to take those 3 chords and play a little song that some people call Boiled Them Cabbage, and a good friend of mine calls Boil Those Cabbages. It's the quintessential beginning mandolin tune, beginning banjo tune, beginning guitar tune, and I think it's very important that you learn those 3 chords and actually be able to play a piece of music. You're going to be on your second lesson and amaze your friends and relatives that you can actually play a song on your mandolin already. So we're going to take the G chord, we're going to strum that 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Switch to the C chord 4 times. Then we go back to the G chord 4 times. And the D chord 4 times. We're going to do that again, and there's a little difference on the ending of it, so listen close. Go back to the G chord 4 more times. The C chord 4 more times. Now on the very last line we're going to play the G chord twice, the D chord twice, and end it with 4 more G chords. Now I'm going to just play the chords really slow. I'll say each one as I start, and then I won't talk so you can listen and strum along with me. We're going to go really slow with this. So G, C, G again, D, back to G, C, and remember that change, 2 Gs, 2 Ds, and back to G. Keep strumming with me, 4 Gs, 4 Cs, 4 Gs, 4 Ds, 4 Gs, 4 Cs, 2 Gs, 2 Ds, and back to G, 4. One more time. 2 Gs, 2 Ds, and end it with 4 Gs. Okay. That might have seemed a little fast where you're just learning to do these chords, but the harder you practice, the easier that will get. And just remember that you strum every chord 4 times until you get to that very last line where you do the 2 Gs and the 2 Ds. Now I'd like to show you how to play that as a very simple melody, and we're going to play it all on one string, and you're going to have to be real careful to listen to me as to which frets you're playing. And what I want you to pay particular attention to is these 3 fingers. And when I tell you to play the 4th fret, you're going to play that with your middle finger. It's down here in between the first 2 dots on your mandolin. When you play the 5th fret, you're always going to play that with your ring finger or your 3rd finger. That's on top of that dot at the 5th fret. And every time you play the 2nd fret, you're going to play it with your 1st finger. Anytime we do a melody, you're going to play these frets with those fingers, and it makes it easier. See how my hand is laid out? I can play those 3 notes, one right after the other, because I'm using all those same fingers each time. So this song starts on the 4th fret of the top string, or the G string, and just like the chords that we play, we hit that note 4 times while we're playing that G chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we go to the 5th fret. I don't even need to move this finger. I just put the ring finger down right in front of it on the 5th fret of that G string. Play it 4 times. And then I just lift it up. I'm already on the 4th fret for the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you go down to the 2nd fret. 1, 2, 3, 4. And just like we go back to the G chord at this point in the song, we go back to the 4th fret. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th fret. 1, 2, 3, 4. And just like in the last line of our strumming, this last line gets 2 notes on this 4th fret. 1, 2, then the 2nd fret. 1, 2, and you end on the open G string. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm going to call out the fret number as I hit each one. So you'll hear a whole lot of 4, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5, 5. And I'll try not to get confused as I'm doing it, but that way you can look at your fingers instead of looking at me. You can look at what you're doing on your mandolin while I'm telling you what to do, okay? So we're going to start on the 4th fret of the G string. All of these notes are on that top string. So on the 4th fret with your middle finger, 4, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5, 5, 4, 4, 4, 4, 2, I'm going to try to sing the words just a little bit with it so you get a feeling for how this sounds. I'll have to sing it really low, but if I was singing the melody notes, I probably can sing it now. So, pile them cabbage down, boys, make those Johnny cakes round, round. The only song that we have learned is boil those cabbages down. And now the chords. G 4 times, C 4 times, 4 G's, 4 D's, 4 G's, 4 C's, and then the last line is 2 and 2. 2 G's, 2 D's, and back to the G 4 times. I'll sing through it one more time. Boil them cabbage down, down. Make those Johnny cakes round, round. The only song we all can play is boil those cabbages down. Wow, have you got a lot to work on before lesson 3, huh? Thank you for tuning in to this lesson again. Make sure when we come back next week for lesson 3 that your mandolin's already in tune, and we'll see you then.